Okay, guys, in this program, I'm going to explain for you uh, basic of GitHub, how you can set up a GitHub, what is GitHub, what is Git, and at the end, I will also create a simple project, and then I will push it to GitHub so that you can learn how you can create the GitHub account. You can create repositories. You can push your codes into GitHub. You can check the track of how you committed the code. So all of them, that I mean the basic functionalities, you will learn in this program, and then I will guide you for the details, and you can then extend your uh, knowledge on GitHub through the documentation of GitHub. So first of all, if you go to the GitHub site, you have to sign up for an account. Okay, you click sign up. You create a username for yourself. You put your email address and put your password. Once you create your account, then uh, you will have an account on GitHub. For example, this is my account on GitHub. Uh, Here, if you click and then you click your repositories, it shows the repositories that you have, and then if you want to create a new repository, you click new repository. Okay, so once we click the new repository, here we give our repository a name. Okay, let's give our repository test one. Okay, project one, test one, whatever you give it. I will just give it test one because I need to remove it. Then you can, here you have two options. One is public or private. Public repositories are accessible by anyone on the internet, so they can see your codes downloaded. And when you make private, then except you, no one can see it. If you make private, you can also share it, like make give access to your private repository to someone that if you want to collaborate. So for this, I will keep it public, and then I will, if you check the README, it will create a README file. README file is basically a file that you add information, basic details like first page on the your repository, that someone comes and read it if you provide info regarding your repository. So if you check it, it will create a readme file. I will not check it, and we can do it later also. Okay, and then the .git ignores. If you click at .git ignore, it will create a .git ignore file, and this is the file that you want to add. Usually, then you put some of there are some comments that you can write here in the git ignore file, that the files you don't want to upload on your repository, it will ignore it. For example, if you use Node.js applications or Angular or React, uh, you have Node modules, so you want to escape the Node module, so the Git files. So that's why you use this one. So for the time being, I will keep this empty. I will just create a simple repository. And here I will give a description. This is, you can put description for your repository. This is a test repo. I will click create. Okay. My repository is created, and it will create a link for it. This is the link. I can share it with anyone, and then they can see access my code. Okay, my repository is created. Here it gives some of the common Git commands that you can write for pushing your code to this repository, or add readme file, commit. This is the commit command, so this is the push command. Okay, for for using these commands, you need to have the Git installed in your computer. So for installing Git, if you go to the site, if you git.scm.com, or if you just type in the Google Git download, it will bring this site, the first link you can go. So here you can click download the Git if you are using Windows or Mac based on your operating system. So you can download the Git installer. Once you download it, then you can install it. I have already installed it, so I don't install it again. Okay, once once you install the Git, you can use it through the if you can use it through the VS Code if you have also installed VS Code, or you can use Git Bash by default will install. So uh, I would recommend VS Code for the project. I'm using VS Code, so it's a great editor for using creating different projects like so I already have my VS Code. I will create a simple project and then I will push it to this GitHub repository we created. Okay, so here. Okay, I will bring my VS Code here. Oops. Close these files. We'll create a new project. UNC. Okay, I will put give the project name, for example, test one. Okay, this is an empty project. I will create a new HTML file here, just a sample index.html. Okay. In VS Code, there is a shortcut if you write shift this exclamation, then if you enter, then it will create an HTML boilerplate template. So this is my HTML template. I will say it, for example, testing GitHub. I will put here welcome to GitHub. Okay, it's just a simple HTML file I've created. Now I want to push it in GitHub. So how I can use my this file to GitHub? Okay, I will go to my folder. Okay, here is my folder. What I will do is I will right click here. Once you install the Git I showed you, then Git bash will be installed. Git bash. If you right click, you can say Git bash here. Okay. It will open this terminal, the Git bash terminal. So here you can write your GitHub commands. The first thing you do is you can write git init if you want to initialize a new Git repository. But if we go to the GitHub, which we already created this GitHub repository, I will copy, for example, it gives us a link here, git remote at origin, and then the name of our GitHub repository. I will copy this command. I will come here. Okay. Okay, I will open git bash here. Git init. It will, once you type the git init, it will initialize the .git. So once it's initialized, you can paste this command git remote at the repository that we had. So it will connect to that repository here. Then if you come here, we have another command git add readme. If you want to add readme but we don't want, then we just commit our use this command to commit our code. Okay, so we say git commit dash m. Okay, here you put the command for example first commit or whatever, first changes. Okay, then you enter. Here you can see it shows that one file is changed, and then you can git add space dot. This will add this changes to the repo, and then you type git commit dash m. Here again, I mean, you can add your comment whatever you want, the changes. So you can do that again, or then we push our changes to the repository git push dash u or rigin master. Here this is our branches master, so I will put master. Once you enter, we get an error. Let me check the error. So we add git commit again, so then we do git push the shoe origin master. Okay, it shows the changes and it push the code we had to the the repository. And now if we refresh our repository here, you see we have one file, index.html. If I open my file, you can see the code I have written here. So here we had our code. Now it is online on the GitHub repository. So GitHub, why we use GitHub? Because it's a version control system, so that you can control the version of your codes. For example, if you see here, we have one file and it was modified 1 minute ago. Okay, so if I come and my code, I will add, for example, okay, I will add h3, another http tag. This is a new change. Okay, and if I save it, you in the VS Code, you can also see once you have Git installed, you can see your here is the place you can see the source control changes. It shows that there's one changes in your file. So here you can do it again. For example, we can come to our git bash and we say git status. It shows that the file is modified. This HTML is modified because we modified it. We added some changes here. Then it tracked the changes. So it shows that a file is modified. Then we say, okay, git commit -m and new changes. Or for example, we say HTTP tag is added. You can put anything. I will just say this to make it simple for you guys to understand. Okay, git commit -m and then the command, and then okay, git dot, we have to add the changes. Then we say git commit -m h3 change h3 added, and again we type git push -u origin master. We push the changes to the master branch. Okay, once the changes are pushed, and then if we come back to our repository, if I refresh, you see we have again, we see it modified now 22nd. If you see the commits, we have two commits. If you click the commits, you can see the versions, like this is the previous version that we pushed. If you can click on this one, you can see your code. Okay, and if I come back and see this one, you can see that this one is the changes that has been added in the new commit. This is how it controls the changes in your code, and it's this is how you can understand the changes in your code, and you can control your code and the application if you want to roll back any bugs created during the development or deployment. So a lot of things. So just it's basic. I don't go for those details right now. Okay, let's come back to our VS Code. If you see in the VS Code, that repository I can changes gone, so you don't have any changes here. So I will come here on my HTML file. I will create, for example, I will create some another changes. I will remove these three. I will create a form. For example, just a simple form I'll create and put name equals to last name, placeholder last name, and require, and put name equals to first name, placeholder first name, require, and we have put type submit, and value equals to submit form. Okay, submit, just simple. Okay, now I created just a simple, I removed that one, I created a simple form, and now if you see again, the changes shows here. I can do the commit from here the same way we did before. I can add a git commit, the commit, and then git add dot, and then git push the shoe region master, the same commands we used for the previous changes. But now I will show you how you can do it through the VS Code. And the VS Code, if you come to this repository source control icon here under left navigation, so here you can see the changes, you have one changes, and then if you click here, if you put here, you put your commit message. So I will say changes, okay, commit committed from VS Code, just for you guys to understand. And then you can click this check mark. Would you like to see our changes? I will say yes. And this is the UI way. So previously we did it through the through the commands, and this is how you can do it through the user interface or UI. So we committed the changes, then you click on the three dot here, you say push, it will push the changes to the repository. Okay, once it is done, if we come back here to our repository, if I come here, you see I have a new change. It shows and you see now I have three commits. If I click the three commits, I can see this one was committed 9 minutes ago. This one was committed 6 minutes ago, and this one is the latest one, the 3 minutes ago. If I click on this icon, I can see that the whole code. So it shows that these were removed. The color is red line, and you see it's minus minus, and it shows that these code were added into the repository. So basically, the GitHub is a source code or version control system that you can create the repositories and you can upload your codes so that you can have versioned control of your code, and you can also, if you have different uh, team members working on the same project, you can collaborate on the code, and then you can see who brought changes, and then you can merge all the code to one repository. So this is and the basics of GitHub. Once you created your repository, you can, for example, you can get the link of, if you're in that repository, you can get the link of that repository and you can share it with your friends. Or if you want to clone a repository, you can come here and say copy this link, and then, or you can download the code from here, download it. So this is how GitHub is, and the basic of GitHub. And you can download the source code of other people which they have. For example, if I search just something like uh, AWS Lambda Node.js send email, just something like this. I will I'm just searching if I can see anything in the GitHub. Anyway, so I mean, this is a few. If you go to any repositories, for example, uh, I will show you my repository, but you can go to any repository of any other person. You can click on the repository and then you can click here and download the code. Once you download the code, you can open it in your project and modify, use it, whatever you wanted. So this is the purpose of GitHub, that you can collaborate on the codes. You can have version control, so that you don't lose your code. For example, if your computer crashes or something happens in your computer, so all your codes are safe. It's online on the cloud or on the GitHub, so you don't worry about your codes. Okay, thank you guys. Have a nice day.